Today we're going to talk about 10 different Amish jobs, and all these jobs are jobs that are in my community. So they are my neighbors. Actually, I got a lot of my material today from other videos that I've made, but it all came together. There's just a couple parts that I've never used before, so some of it might be new if you're one of my subscribers that watches everything, which, you know, I'm sure there's something in there you haven't seen. Anyway, I'm really excited about this because as I was looking for research about what are jobs that Amish people do, you're going to find things like they have stands on the side of the road and things like that. While Amish do things like that, I have not seen it here a lot. They might put stands up by the Lowe's or something like that, but I don't have video of that. So everything that you see today, there's 10 different videos, are places that I've actually been, and they're actually in my area, but that doesn't mean there's not more jobs. One of the things I do want to point out before we get started, most Amish families have more than one income stream. It's amazing to me. I love their philosophy, their work ethic, their philosophy on, you know, if something doesn't seem to be bringing in enough income, then they hurry up and go find something else to do. And I'm going to use an example. My husband was hauling for an Amish person locally, and that person decided what they were doing was not profitable anymore. So he started going and buying horses so that he could, you know, groom them or whatever and then sell them to his neighbors. But I just thought, wow, they're always thinking, what can we do next? Another Amish friend that my husband worked for, he was working for another guy doing gutters and was thinking like, wow, you know, I can do this myself. So he starts his own business, has somebody help him. Well, then they decided, let's split up. Let's keep our company together, but go out in two different vehicles and double the work on certain days if they're small jobs. So they're constantly thinking of different income streams, and they don't just get stuck in one thing. And 9 times out of 10, they're working for themselves. And I just love that work ethic. It's kind of what, you know, a lot of us are trying to do, but then we get stuck, you know, in a job. Anyway, let's get started. There's 10 things. And I just want to point out that today, I was going to go outside and drive in the Jeep and drive by a couple places, but it's raining, it's nasty out. And so I thought, okay, well, I have an authentic Amish quilt, and I'm going to use that as my background today. I actually bought this before I moved here into the house I'm in. I was not living in this area, but I went to visit an Amish, more of a more touristy attraction area, and I went to the barn that the women were making quilts, and I ordered this, and I got to pick out what I wanted, and it actually took me 6 months to get it. So I've had this probably a good 15 years, and it'll probably stay with me forever. But I love how I said, you pick the colors, but this is the design I want, and they literally made it for me, and I had to wait for it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Couldn't think of a better background than an Amish quilt. All right, let's get started. And like I said, these 10 jobs are actually in my community. The first job everybody automatically thinks of is that all Amish people are farmers. And there's really not a high percentage of Amish people that are farmers or producers of vegetation or anything like that. They may do it for their own family, but as far as an income, not a lot, and not as many as we think, but in our area, there are many. And I want to show you the resources that they have to sell their produce. Now, earlier, I did talk a little bit about sometimes they set up a table on the side of the road. That is one way, but they also use 2 different ways that we have in our area. And one of those ways is to go to the local auction. We have a huge auction house near us, and that would be the second way of making money, because you can bring other things besides just produce to the auction. Different times of the year, we may have flowers. Twice a year, we have a great big flea market auction where everybody can bring their goods. Definitely this is open year round, and it gives all families in the area an opportunity to make money, especially those that are producing hay or produce, so that they can get it out into the community. And it's a big affair. It's always busy every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's definitely a great way to make money. Now, other farmers that have produce may hire a driver to haul their produce into the city and take it to different venues there so that they can sell it. And here's an example where you have somebody hauling the vegetables and things into the city so that the Amish person can make an income there. They have to hire the driver, so that definitely cuts into their profit because obviously they can't drive it themselves. Now, number 3, we have a little store. It's like an odd lots. It's really interesting. I remember when it first went up, And we went inside, and they literally have things, as you can see here, that were off a truck. Lots of different things that you might find in odd lots, like boxes of different Slim Jims and things like that. So they also have a big section with material, and then in the back they have a place to make sandwiches. So definitely a great income if you open up a little store in the area. The next one is also a store, but it's a bakery. And this one has been around for a really long time. They're known for their donuts and their pies and their pretzel sandwiches. Really big in our community. Another way of making money, number 5, would be the feed mill. The feed mill actually has non-GMO feed, and they supply feed for most of the people in the area. The man that owns it also hires a driver who will take the feed and deliver it for a fee to different farmers in the area, or even some larger farms outside of the area. He's got a pretty good thriving business going there. All right, our next one is the general store. And I know we have a lot of stores in this area, but these are the stores that cater to their areas. And actually, I love going to the stores. They have all kinds of goods, lunch meat, grocery items, everything you can think of that a general store would have. And they're well stocked, and they do a very good, thriving business. We also have a greenhouse, and this is huge. In the spring, this is where I go actually to get all my plants. There are more than one in the area. There's several actually. This one here, I'll give you a little ride down the driveway so you can get an idea of how far back they sit and how huge their business is. They've got 4 or 5 greenhouses sitting in the back, full of starter plants, you name it, they have it. And then they have all kinds of gardening supplies as well. But this gives you a good idea outside what the front of the store looks like. I do have a full video above if you want to go ahead and look at that. I go into the different greenhouses and things like that. But for today's video, I just wanted to give you a general idea of what some of the different income streams were in our area for the Amish. Number 8, sawmill. Again, we have several sawmills in the area. We live in a big wooded section of our state. My property is actually mostly wooded. My husband's always talking about getting a sawmill, but lots of sawmills in the area. And again, if they need to deliver it to the main company where they sell their wood, big trucks would come in and pick it up for them. So they would just pay somebody to haul it. Otherwise, they will use their resources that they have themselves. A lot of Amish people are in the construction business, believe it or not. Again, they have to hire drivers to take them, but they have some of the Amish have purely just a gutter business. Some are just concentrate on roofing. Some are into construction. I know one construction company that we have here in our area, they do pole barns. They have people come in and they can put one up really fast for you. Some of them even might focus on just manufacturing pallets or just manufacturing windows. So those are all some of the few that I know of that are in our area. And the last form of income that I told you earlier was my favorite, and that is selling rabbits. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to talk about kids working for the Amish. I'm in the process of making a video on that. But this is a young man that showed me his business that he has, and he's like 12, 13 years old. He breeds his rabbits, and then his dad helps him to sell them. And what they do is they will process them and get them ready and sell them that way to people who want to buy them. So I thought that was a very interesting business for a young man to start. That is another thing, and again, I will be doing a video on that, but a lot of the Amish fathers and mothers, they teach their children a trade. They teach them at a young age how to make an income so that when they do grow up and they're ready to get married, most of them already have some money in the bank and they're ready to take care of a family, or they have the skills to be able to take care of their family, girls and boys alike. And I hope you enjoyed that. It's again just amazing how they're hard workers. They got really good work ethic, and we can learn a lot from them. Let me know if you know of any other jobs that you've seen Amish do in your community. Go ahead and put those below. Like I said, there's so many more, but this is just what I had around here. You have a blessed day. Don't forget to subscribe, come back and watch. Ask questions. I mean, if there's something that you're curious about, please feel free to put that in the comments below, and I'm more than happy to research that for you. Again, have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.